It started with something so ordinary it should have meant nothing. A flickering lamp. A knock on my door. Elena, my neighbor, her cardigan slipping from her shoulders, strands of blonde hair tucked behind her ear, asked if Alex had a spare bulb. Elena could have asked anyone, but Elena asked Alex. Alex followed Elena inside. The air warmer than Alex's, filled with the faint perfume of citrus and smoke. Elena pointed toward the lamp in her living room. It just died, Elena said, but there was a glimmer in her eyes that didn't belong to broken bulbs. Alex fixed it in silence, climbing the small step stool Elena offered. Elena hovered nearby, too close, her presence loud in the quiet house. Every time Alex looked down, Elena was watching Alex, not with politeness, not with curiosity, but with something heavier. When the light finally flickered on, Alex stepped down, brushing his hands together. There, Alex said, trying to sound casual, but Elena didn't move. Elena stood in front of Alex, the glow catching her face, her eyes locked to Alex's. Alex shifted awkwardly, reaching for his jacket. Alex should get going, and that's when it happened. Elena's hand caught Alex's arm, gentle but firm. Elena leaned in just enough for her whisper to cut through the air like a secret blade. "If you leave now," Elena murmured, "you'll never see me like this again." The words burned into Alex. Alex froze, Alex's hand still clutching his jacket. Wouldn't move. Alex's breath stalled. What did Elena mean like this? Vulnerable, unhappy, wanting? Alex swallowed hard. Alex should go," Alex said, but Alex's voice betrayed him. Elena's lips curved. Not a smile, not exactly. More like a dare. Elena released Alex's arms slowly, her fingers trailing just long enough to make Alex's skin remember. "Then go," Elena said softly. But Alex didn't. Alex's feet stayed planted. Elena tilted her head, studying Alex. The silence stretched. Outside, rain tapped against the window, filling the room with a rhythm that only made the moment sharper. "Why me?" Alex asked finally, the question breaking free before Alex could catch it. Elena's eyes softened, but her voice was steady. "Because you notice, because you don't look away." Elena's words hung between them like smoke, filling every inch of air. Alex's chest tightened. Elena was standing so close now Alex could see the faintest line at the corner of her lips, hear the hitch in her breath. Alex leaned slightly forward. Too little to mean anything, too much to mean nothing. Elena's gaze flickered down, then back up, her lashes trembling. For one unbearable second, it felt like the world narrowed to just this. Elena's whisper, her nearness, the gravity pulling them toward the point of no return. And then Elena stepped back. The spell broke, but not completely. Elena lingered at the edge of the room, her arms crossing as if to hold herself together. "You should go now," Elena said, her voice quieter than before. Alex nodded, though Alex's legs still didn't want to move. Alex turned toward the door, Alex's hand brushing the frame behind him. Elena's voice floated again, softer this time but no less dangerous. "Remember what Elena said. If you leave now." Alex didn't need Elena to finish. The words were already carved into Alex. Alex stepped into the night. Alex's heart still in Elena's living room, pounding like it belonged to Elena, and Alex knew whatever Elena meant. Alex was already caught. Alex thought maybe Alex had imagined it. That whisper, that look, it had to be some kind of moment lost in translation. A slip of Elena's loneliness mistaken for invitation. But the very next afternoon, there Elena was standing at Alex's door with a plate of cookies. Elena said she'd overbaked. Alex almost laughed at the excuse, but the way Elena's eyes lingered on Alex as Alex took the plate was no accident. When their fingers brushed, the silence that followed was louder than any neighborly kindness. Elena didn't stay that time, but Elena came back. 2 days later, Elena appeared again, this time with a request for coffee. "I ran out," Elena said, her voice too casual, her smile too practiced. Alex handed Elena the jar, but Elena didn't take it right away. Elena let her hand hover until Alex's shifted closer, until the space between them shrank to a single electric breath. When Elena finally wrapped her fingers around it, Elena whispered, "Thanks." But Elena's eyes said something else entirely. By the third visit, Elena stopped pretending. Elena arrived with no excuse at all, holding a bottle of wine and 2 glasses like a secret Elena couldn't keep anymore. "Alex thought we could share," Elena said, stepping inside before Alex could answer. We sat at Alex's table, the wine between us, our laughter filling the gaps where the truth should have been. Elena leaned forward on her elbows, her blouse slipping just slightly, as if to test how long Alex's eyes would linger. Alex tried not to, but Elena noticed anyway, her lips curved, not mocking, not innocent, dangerous. Halfway through the bottle, Elena's phone buzzed. A name lit up the screen. Him, Elena's husband. Elena silenced it with a flick, her smile faltering only for a second. The air shifted. He wasn't in the room, but suddenly his presence pressed against us like a wall. Elena looked at Alex then, her voice lower, steadier. "You still haven't answered me." Alex's throat tightened. "Answered what?" Elena's smile returned sharper this time. "If you leave now, you'll never see me like this again." The words hit Alex like the first night all over again. Alex's chest burned. Alex's hands shook. Alex tried to respond, but Alex's tongue betrayed him. Heavy and useless. Elena leaned closer, her face now inches from Alex's, her breath warm with wine. "Do you want me to stop?" Elena asked. Alex should have said yes. Alex should have ended it. But Alex stayed silent. Elena's eyes glimmered, satisfied. Elena slid her hand across the table until it hovered beside Alex's. So close their skin nearly touched. The space between us screamed to be broken. But just as Alex shifted, just as the moment tilted towards something inevitable, Elena pulled her hand back. Elena stood, gathering her glass, her phone, her bag. At the door, Elena turned, one hand resting on the frame, her silhouette glowing in the hallway light. "Next time," Elena whispered. "Don't hesitate." And then Elena was gone, leaving Alex in the silence with an unfinished glass of wine and a heart that refused to calm down. Alex sat there long after, staring at the empty chair across from him, wondering if Alex had already crossed the line without even touching Elena. Alex thought avoiding Elena would save him. Alex told himself Alex spend less time outside, less time near the fence, less time listening for footsteps in the hallway, but avoidance only made it worse. Every silence between our houses hummed with the memory of Elena's whisper. And then one evening, Elena made it impossible to hide. Alex was carrying groceries up the steps when Elena's voice cut through the dusk. "You've been ignoring me." Alex turned, nearly dropping the bag. Elena was leaning against the fence, arms crossed. Her hair swept back in the fading light. There was no anger in her tone, just something sharper, something that demanded honesty. "I've been busy," Alex said too quickly. Elena's lips curved in a half-smile. "Busy or scared?" The words hit Alex in the chest. Alex tried to laugh it off, fumbling for his keys. "Scared of what?" Elena stepped closer, her eyes never leaving Alex's. "Of wanting something you know you shouldn't." Alex's breath caught. The grocery bag slipped from Alex's hand, an apple rolling across the porch. Alex froze, not because of what Elena had said, but because of how true it felt. Elena closed the distance, now only a step away. The glow of her porch light spilled across her face, outlining every line of strength and softness. "You think I don't notice the way you look at me?" Elena whispered. Alex swallowed hard. "Alex," but the word died in Alex's throat. Elena's smile deepened softer this time. "Good. Because I notice and I don't mind." The air between us thickened. Alex could smell Elena's perfume, feel the faint warmth radiating from her body. Alex's pulse roared. Elena's hand moved slightly, grazing the back of Alex's as if by accident. But it wasn't. The touch was deliberate, delicate, and it set fire to every nerve. "Do you know what it's like?" Elena asked, her voice barely audible. "To live in a house where someone looks through you instead of at you?" Elena's words hung heavy. Alex forced himself to answer, though Alex's voice trembled. "I think I do now." Elena tilted her head, eyes glimmering. And for a second, the world tilted too. Elena's face leaned closer, lips parting, her breath brushing against Alex's. Alex's body screamed to close the gap, to end the torment of being so close yet untouched. But just as Alex moved, Elena pulled back sharply, as if a string had been yanked between us. Elena turned, shoulders tense, her breathing unsteady. "This is wrong," Elena murmured. "But God, it feels so right." Elena started toward her door. Halfway there, Elena stopped. Elena glanced over her shoulder, her eyes locking on Alex one last time. "Sooner or later," Elena whispered, her voice trembling with both promise and warning. "You'll ask." Then Elena disappeared into the shadows, leaving Alex standing in the half-light, groceries forgotten at his feet, heart pounding with the weight of everything unspoken. And Alex knew sooner or later Alex would. The storm arrived just after midnight. Rain slammed against the windows. Thunder rattled the walls. And Alex tried to convince himself the pounding Alex heard was only the weather. But then it came again. 3 sharp knocks at Alex's door. Alex opened it to find Elena standing there, soaked, her mascara smudged, her cardigan clinging to her like a second skin. Elena didn't wait for an invitation. Elena stepped inside, breathless, trembling. "I couldn't stay there," Elena whispered. "Not tonight." Water dripped from Elena's hair onto the floor. Alex handed Elena a towel, and when their fingers touched, the weight of Elena's shaking body transferred into Alex. Elena pressed the towel to her face, exhaling hard, then sank onto Alex's couch like she might collapse. "What happened?" Alex asked gently. Elena's voice cracked. "We fought again, and I said things I can't take back." Elena swallowed, her eyes filling. "He looked at me like I wasn't even human, like I was furniture he was tired of." Elena's words cut through Alex. Alex sat beside Elena, not too close, but close enough to feel the chill radiating from her wet clothes. Elena shivered, and instinct betrayed Alex. Alex pulled the blanket from the armrest and wrapped it around Elena's shoulders. Elena leaned into Alex then, her head resting against Alex's chest, her breath uneven. The weight of Elena there nearly broke Alex. Every muscle screamed not to move, not to give in, but Elena's nearness was unbearable. "You shouldn't be here," Alex whispered. "I know," Elena said softly, her fingers curling into the fabric of Alex's shirt. "But you're the only place I feel safe." The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was alive. Elena's perfume mingled with rain filled Alex's lungs. Alex could feel Elena's heartbeat through the blanket, fast, frantic like Alex's. Elena's face tilted upward, eyes glistening, lips parting slightly. Alex's breath caught. The world shrank to the inches between them. Alex leaned in, Alex's hand brushing Elena's cheek, trembling with restraint. Their foreheads touched. Elena's eyes fluttered shut. Her lips hovered, just there. So close Alex could almost taste the promise of Elena. And then Elena's hand pressed against Alex's chest, holding Alex back. "Not yet," Elena whispered, her voice shaking. "If I cross this line tonight, I'll never go back." Alex froze, every nerve on fire. Elena pulled back just enough to break the spell, though her hand stayed against Alex's chest, her touch searing. Elena closed her eyes, leaning her forehead against Alex's shoulder instead. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. The storm outside softened. Eventually, Elena's breathing steadied, and Alex realized Elena had fallen asleep against Alex. Alex sat there rigid, afraid to move, Alex's arm half wrapped around Elena, her weight a dangerous comfort. The night stretched on, every second whispering the truth Alex didn't dare say out loud. When dawn crept through the curtains, Elena stirred. Elena's eyes found Alex's sleepy, vulnerable. For a heartbeat, Alex thought Elena would kiss Alex. Instead, Elena whispered almost like a warning. "You make me feel dangerous." Elena stood, pulling the blanket tighter, heading for the door. At the frame, Elena paused her ritual. Elena's voice was soft but resolute. "If I come back again," Elena said without looking at Alex, "I won't stop myself." And then Elena was gone, leaving the door ajar. the scent of Elena still lingering and Alex's heart torn between dread and desire. The days after the storm felt heavier, stretched thin with silence. Alex didn't see Elena in the yard, didn't hear Elena's footsteps in the hallway. The curtain that usually shifted when Alex passed Elena's window stayed still. It was as if Elena disappeared. And with Elena the breath in Alex's chest until one night 3 sharp knocks. Alex opened the door to find Elena standing there. Not trembling this time, not broken. Elena's eyes burned with a different kind of fire. Elena slipped inside quickly, closing the door behind her as though the night itself was watching. "I can't keep doing this," Elena whispered. Her voice cracked, but her resolve was fierce. Alex froze. Like what? Caught between what I have and what I want. Elena stepped closer, her fingers curling into fists at her sides. "You've ruined me. Every time I look at him, all I see is what I don't feel. And every time I look at you," Elena's voice trailed, trembling, "all I feel is what I shouldn't." The air thickened. Elena reached for Alex's hand, gripping it tightly as though holding herself together through Alex. Elena's skin was warm, trembling. "You need to decide," Alex whispered, though Alex's voice betrayed Alex's own fear. Elena's eyes shone. "No, you do. I've already made my choice." Elena's words struck like lightning. Elena stepped closer, so close their breaths collided. Elena's lips hovered a breath away, her hands sliding up to Alex's chest. Alex's body leaned into Elena's, every nerve ready to break. And then Elena whispered the words that cut through Alex. "If you still want me, ask. But if you don't, if you leave now, you'll never see me like this again." The echo of Elena's first whisper returned. Sharper. Final. Alex's throat tightened. Alex opened Alex's mouth, but the words tangled, caught between fear and desire. Elena's eyes searched Alex's desperately, waiting, begging for the question that would break everything open. The silence stretched, unbearable. And then Elena's phone buzzed, his name. The sound tore through the moment like glass shattering. Elena's face crumpled. Elena pulled back, tears glimmering, though her hand still lingered against Alex's chest. For a second, Alex thought Elena silence it like before. But Elena didn't. Instead, Elena stepped away, clutching herself, whispering so softly Alex almost didn't hear. "I can't stay here if you don't stop me." Elena turned toward the door, her body trembling, her hand gripping the frame like it was the last barrier between them. Alex reached out, Alex's fingers trembling in the air. Inches from Elena's arm, Alex's chest burned with the words Alex hadn't said, the choice Alex hadn't made. Elena glanced back one last time, her eyes shimmering with all the weight of everything unsaid. "This was your chance," Elena whispered, "and you let it go." The door closed behind Elena, the sound echoing through Alex's empty house like a sentence. Alex stood frozen, Alex's hands still reaching for nothing, Alex's heart still pounding with the truth. Alex hadn't asked.